Hey, how you doing, man? How you doing today? So I'm gonna do a video about like the Joe Mixon incident since he got recently picked up in the NFL draft, and they're still like showing what happened like with him a few years ago. It was 3 years ago or so. So I'm gonna look at this thing from both sides, like A and B. I'm gonna look at this objectively and not just from one side or the other, and give you my perspective on this and how it should have gone and like why the media is only covering like one side of the whole thing, and about the double standards like that goes along with the whole thing essentially. So let's start it, guys. Roll the intro. If you don't know who Joe Mixon is a 20-year-old RB from Oklahoma. He is with the Cincinnati Bengals now. They picked him in the 2017 NFL draft that just happened over the weekend, this past weekend. And like there was some concern like with him, like because of his past and all that. But I'm here to look at the incident from both sides objectively and not just from one side perspective. So what happened is like what the media is saying is like he knocked out a woman, broke 4 bones in her face. But they're only looking at that from that one perspective, to be honest. They're not looking at like what she did to escalate the incident or whatever. So essentially, what happened is Mr. Mixon he walked into like a school bar, just like I guess to have a drink or something, because it's like late after practice. He just wants to go get a drink or something. And comes this girl, well, she's a white girl. This girl in the bar, she just starts like messing with him for no reason. She's calling him the N word, spitting on him, and he tries to get away. She keeps pulling him back, and he tries to get away again. She keeps pulling him back, and she starts hitting on him. He wants to get away. He's like, it's clear like he doesn't want to deal with her. He's like, get away from me. I don't want to deal with you. And she keeps on swinging at him, and then spitting on him again, calling the N word and such. And then finally at the end, he's like, I've had enough. And then just decks her. And that's where that came from. That's the only thing they're looking at. I hate that the media nowadays, or sports media nowadays, is only looking at one perspective. They didn't look at like she was calling him an N word, she was like spitting on him, she was hitting him, and like she wanted to start the fight. He just wanted to go in there to get a drink or something and not just be left alone or being peaceful. But she had to rile them up and start up the fight that led to that confrontation. I hate that the media only looks at one side and like that projects double standards in society. If a man hits a woman, it's automatically bad, but if a woman hits a man, it's not bad at all. It's praised and overlooked as like whatever. But if a man hits a woman, man, they're ready to hang him in the middle of the town square. So the way I look at this is both parties are guilty. Both parties are not innocent people here. That's the way I see and look at it. He was wrong for hitting her, yes, and breaking the both bones in her face. She was wrong for riding him up, calling him a bunch of names, hitting on him, spitting on him. She was wrong for that too. And people might say, "Oh, what? That was your daughter or something that was doing that." I'm going to teach my daughters not to rob people up or start fights, how to avoid trouble altogether. Stay out of bars like that. Just stay out of trouble altogether. I'm going to teach my boys that too. Stay out of trouble. Don't do that. Don't go looking for trouble. Don't go nothing. That way, that won't happen. Because of that incident, it cost him 25 million in a draft because they didn't look at both sides objectively. They just looked at one side like that he hit a woman and like she was tinier than he was. That doesn't matter, to be honest. That scale on thing doesn't matter, really, to be perfectly honest. If you're starting a fight with somebody, it doesn't matter how big you are or how little you are. You started the fight, you have to look at both things objectively. You can't just look at things one sided. There's like two sides to a disc. You can't just listen to one side and not listen to the other side. You haven't listened to the whole complete disc or anything like that. Say, oh, I listened to this. Did you listen to both sides? No. Then you haven't listened to the whole disc. You see what I'm saying? You have to listen to story A and story B here. And I hate this double standard in our society where they're not going to look at both things objectively. Because if it was turned 360 around, nobody would have said a word. They would say he was weak because he's a football player and he's a lot bigger than her and he's a running back. They would have made fun of him the whole yada yada time. But since he's the one that did that to her because she was messing with him and he defended himself, they're getting after him essentially. And I hate that double standard in society. We need to change that double standard in society. I know they settled this out of court, but I just want to talk about like that double standard. We need to condemn both when they happen. When a man hits a woman, we need to condemn it. When a woman hits a man, we need to condemn it outright, not just overlook it and like, whatever, or laugh and say whatever. Like, we're not going to look at it at all. Like, you need to look at both sides. And I hate the sports media that doesn't look at both sides, to be honest. He's looking like, oh, he hit a woman, done, that's it. He's automatically bad. Like, no. He defended himself because he was being messed with. He tried to get away from the incident, but she kept pulling him back in and back in and back in. And he just wanted to get away. He just wanted to go to the bar and basically have a drink or something, like just to relax. But after a long, hard day of practice or something, because RBs like have a long, hard day of practice. He's probably just wants to get a drink to relax. And here comes this girl just starting messing with him for no reason. So, in conclusion, you have to look at both sides objectively when you're looking at something like this. Now, do I condone what he did? No, of course not. Do I condone what she did? No, of course not. But here's my last point. Don't think like you're gonna start poking somebody, messing with somebody, hitting them, spitting them, calling them names, and expect nothing to happen. Like, oh man, I'm doing this, I'm hitting people, I'm spitting on people, and I'm calling them names and stuff, and I'm gonna get out scot free. No, that's not gonna happen. Some guys are not like me who are calm and just walk away from the situation. Some guys will deck you, and don't be surprised if they do. Do I condone it? No, but don't be surprised if they do. Not all guys are as calm and cool and collected. So, do I think he should have walked away from the situation? Sure, but you can defend yourself. That's a question. If a person keeps bothering you, bothering you altogether, you can defend yourself, man or woman. You can defend yourself. But do I encourage it? No, of course not. Am I going to praise either one of them? No. I am against domestic violence or against a man hitting a woman or a woman hitting a man. That's the point I want you to get out of this. And the media, when you cover these type of stories, you need to look at both sides, not just one. That makes you hypocritical and makes you look biased towards one side. You have to look at both sides of the coin and both sides of the disc, to be honest. That's going to be it for me, my electrolytes. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will have my last video in the link in the description below, guys. And stay awesome.